It's 100% okay to ask me questions and to have a conversation as we go along. It's very interactive. So I just want to go over, we know how to get into our swing. I want to go over some of the core practices as our own warm-up, but how to do the core in several different ways. The first core exercise we do from our sumo squat, I'm just going to adjust this to make it closer to the front. The first one we do is grabbing for the leg loop. We straighten our arms, very important. From our sumo squat, socks off if you can, unless they're the special socks, okay? So from our sumo squat, we bend the right knee, so same leg as leg loop, so right side. We bend the right knee and we pull up. So this is a core exercise in its own. We're engaging the arms, we're engaging the legs, and we're just lifting the knee. So usually 5 or 10 of these to begin, to get their body activated, their entire torso involved in the movement is super challenging. Just this, right? So that's our one exercise. Let's go ahead and turn the knee out to the side to get the ankle in there, right? So it's a little bit helpful to turn the knee out to the side to get the ankle in there. Perfect. So we're just going to let ourselves float and do the other side. So you can be in Chilaxin or a half Buddha here, right? It's a personal choice. So we're going to practice our floating plank. So I'm going to leave it in our ankle position. So now you'll notice when you're floating, it might be a little bit easier. It might not. Depends on the person. So even this is a great core exercise. And this is how I would start with someone new, so they can feel confident to get their leg loops on. If they're having trouble getting the leg loops on, 1, bring them down a notch. 2, walk over and help them and get their foot in there. Because it doesn't matter. You know, what we want to do is just be able to begin the poses. There you go. Some people have a lot of trouble with that. So we're already in our floating Buddha. What we're going to do is keep the left one on and take the right one off. All right, so we always hug around, take that one down. And now we can do a similar knee lift. We're going to come into what I call the choo-choo, right? So you're just going to grab a wrist wrap, pull straight down. This gives you a little extra lift and support. And then the first version of our core, we're just going to pull straight up. This would be a beginner level core exercise. The ones we did yesterday were intermediate, right? They're not for everyone to begin. Maybe rowing, right? So lift, hold on to the knee, pause, and lower. So you guys can even feel, even if you have a strong core, this is work, right? This is work. Okay. The next version that we're going to do, working up to plank toe touches, is we're going to pull the knee straight up towards the sky, use our left hand to support our head, and then we're going to bring the elbow to knee. It's really the knee coming up is the crunch. And then what we're going to do is lean back and create a rainbow with your body. So we're stretching the belly, and on the inhalation we lengthen, on the exhalation we crunch. So head supported the whole time. Knee to elbow, that's the first one. Okay, once we feel like we got the alignment, we got the openness, we got the strength, then we can extend the leg towards the sky straight up and touch our toes. That's the plank toe touch. Now we're going to extend the plank, straight arm, straight leg, and then go ahead and lift. So one version of these, usually if you do all 3, then your person is dying. So usually one, if they can do the knee lift, then try the elbow to knee, and then if they can do the elbow to knee, just try the plank toe touch. So this is one version of the plank toe touch. Right? When we're ready, we're just going to come on down. Bring that knee down. Always stretch and lengthen the belly after strengthening. So this is one of the things that made the most sense to me coming from yoga therapy and body work in that background, is if you strengthen the muscles, contract them around compression, you're reinforcing the pain. But if you strengthen the muscles around elongation, then your spine is going to hold the space. Okay, so this is why we always lengthen and then contract. Lengthen and then contract. Okay, so let's switch sides in the air. So we're going to use both hands on the right leg loop, lift, engage the core, go ahead and get the ankle in there, and then extend. So let's go ahead and place the swing low behind the heart. It's going to ride up, so keep it low. Drop your hips. Open your heart and just take a pause here. So we reset in between rounds. Beautiful, guys. Big heart opener, right? Okay, when you're ready, we're going to release the left. So come through like a pigeon where you bend the knee, grab that leg loop, go immediately into a wrist wrap. Yeah, smooth transitions. This hand is free. I usually just rest it on my leg, or I can pull and hold if I need to lift the upper body, keep the arm engaged. There's a couple options. So we're just going to pull the knee up. I like to hold on to the knee at the top. It just helps to squeeze. And then extend. Inhale here. Exhale, squeeze. And then extend. Right? This arm is real strong. Inhale, lift. And then extend. Beautiful. So let's pull the knee up. Once we hold on, we're going to have the knee point towards the sky. We're going to use our right hand to support our head. Right? So we can just pull our elbow to our knee and crunch. And now we come into a rainbow, right? Knee points down towards the earth. We lean back. And then crunch again. Keep the swing behind the heart. If it rides up, lean back and let it slide down. Go ahead and inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. So we're engaged through that straight right leg the whole time. There's a lot of body engagement
yes,
here.
we are.
Right? You have to rest down. You can feel your hamstring. It's all working. It's really nice. Okay, next one, we lift, knee up, then extend the toes towards the sky. Reach for the toes. If the toes seem so high, flex the foot back. And if they still feel too high, drop your hip. Drop your hip into the joint. Inhale, expand, plank. Exhale, toe touch. Inhale, expand. Exhale, toe touch. Just 5 or 10. Just whatever mood your people are in, because it is a lot. Inhale, expand. Exhale, toe touch. Beautiful. There's a whole sequence we're going to go into from there when we work the legs, but just go ahead and come down now. Woo! So that is a really great core activation. I'm going to go over one more time how to go into rowing, and then we're going to move on from core, because we're going to keep working the belly and digestion, working with the kidneys and lower back, so the belly's involved in all of it. You guys feel activated?
Yes.
Yes. Come back through floating Buddha. Squeeze the legs together. Now we have a couple variations here. Let's talk about it again. Hold on to the swing. Keep holding on to the swing and lean back for ladle. Okay? So we can just do tiny crunches here, legs, toes touch, legs squeeze together. Okay? Straight legs the whole time. And then we're going to just bicep curl and look towards our navel, and then lower back down to ladle. So just a tiny crunch. So maybe this is as far as your person is ready to go for right now. So I just have people look up and then come on back down. Normally I don't do much craning of the neck, but it's like the best way to get them to look at their navel. Just a little bit of that. Okay, and then to come all the way back up to sit, before we come into our rowing core activation, we're going to change the leg loops to the arches of the feet. Really important to push down with our feet to use the legs. Okay, you can use your hands. Usually I can figure it out to use my feet to switch. Now, ladle is a little bit more active. Right, so slide in. Keep your hands on the swing the whole time. But this time, you don't hold on with your hands. You let them slide up and down. We're going to pull our knees towards the sky and then crunch knee to nose. Right, but it's the knees up towards the sky that is key. Sliding the hands up and down. Inhale, extend, stretch the belly. And then exhale, strengthen around that space. Knees up towards the sky. Yeah. Go ahead and expand. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Go ahead and inhale, expand a little faster. Exhale, squeeze. Notice if you let your hands slide up and down without holding on, it's more core activation. Right? And then you can do them kind of quick. And then it really starts to work. All right. So from this position, come to sit. We're going to just release the leg loops. Release the leg loops. Very good. So I'm going to follow along here and just take a look at the other ones that we recommend for core. We don't have to do them all, but we just did rowing. Wide leg sit-ups, scissors, balance. That was all yesterday. I'm going to show you guys the other plank toe touches, but you don't have to do them. just watch the demo. If anybody wants to try them, of course you're welcome to, but it's also nice to take a break. Okay, so I'm going to show you the diagonal leg wrap plank toe touches. That goes into the half lotus position. The full body stretch with the knee lifts, we did that first day. Let me just start with those so we have it all in one place. Just tilt this guy up. So on Friday, when we were working the full body, we used the leg loops in our hand, the wrist wrap with the hand holds, and we just bent our knees and did some knee lifts. There's so many core activations that we can do with the swing. These are really tough. These are hard enough. If you wanted to make them harder, you do straight leg, which are really hard. Completely unnecessarily hard. But if that's too hard, you could just march. One foot down, and then the other one. This is fine. You will get strong by doing them like this. So even if people are older and they have trouble lifting their legs, we start out marching, right? That's a nice way to go about it. We want to give them something. There's always something they can do. Very good. Now just watch for me while we demo the plank toe touches. We just did, like I said, if you look at the plank toe touch page, you're going to get a couple different variations. I believe the picture is even dancer. I might have done both, but like dancer is a version of plank toe touches that I'll show you. And it's just a cool name, so it worked with the cards. It fit. Because whatever names were too long, we changed the name. All right. So from a standing position, I'm going to push the swing down with my forearms to my hips. Remember, we were practicing this with the leg loops on. Now I'm going to hold on to the swing. I'll wrap my right leg wide and around. I just kick, and then I come right into the diagonal. So the diagonal is, if we're looking at the front of our mat as 12 o'clock, this would be 3 o'clock for you guys. Okay, so we look at it as like a clock. So we have trouble sometimes figuring out where exactly to put the foot. So right at the edge, and then it's a full body side stretch. It's so nice to just kind of hang out here so we're resting. It's also a great hamstring stretch. I'm also getting into the hip flexor. I'm going to hold on with my left. My right arm is free to go back, and then we do plank toe touch. These would be the intermediate advanced. When we use the one leg loop, that would be the recommended version for beginners. This could be more for the dynamic strength and people who are ready for the next level. So this would be dancer. Do you see the difference? Straight arm, straight leg, big back bend, and then touch, big back bend, touch. The plank toe touches are more like Pilates, where you're really wanting to hold the pose and keep alignment. A smaller movement, a little bit more control. Dancer is more of the flourish. They're for my performance friends that have the really flexy backs. Okay? From there, we're going to stretch, right? My leg stays extended. I bend the knee. I hold on to the foot with one hand or both hands. This is the stretch the belly, stretch the quad. Both hands is called a half lotus. So it's just a pretty pose. We change in the air. We come through, leg wraps around. We come through peaceful warrior. I usually just adjust the back. Hang. Keep left leg wrapped around, right leg comes down, wide. Diagonal. It's a nice way to switch in the air. Rest. Right? Let this be a pose in and of itself. Holding on with the right hand, the left arm is free to go back. The leg lifts. Plank. Toe touch. Plank. Toe touch. 5 or 10, whatever works. And then my dancer friends are like this. They're much more bendy and flexy and less controlled. So plank toe touches is usually my preference unless they are dancers and want to do dancer pose. They'll just flourish and go for it. Otherwise, get the control, get the line, try to have them find earth. Okay, after the last one, bend the knee, slide in. One hand or both hands, stretch. This is really a beautiful pose, but we're wanting to get all of that length and openness in the front of the body. After the second one, we just release the leg and come down to our sumo squat. Stay seated, let the body adjust. Do you guys have interest in trying that, or do you guys feel good? Okay, do you want to try? It is a little challenging, but just kind of feel it. Don't have to do 10. You can do 3, you can do 5. Let's go over it one more time. So from standing in the center of the mat, I'm going to try doing the forearm press. Now I think I mentioned yesterday there's a way to get into Peaceful Warrior from stand. We've been getting into Peaceful Warrior from ladle, but we actually don't need to use the leg loop once we get advanced. But we're going to try just one leg at a time. So we push this down nice and low. If it's up near the kidneys, it's going to be uncomfortable when we go back. So we push it down to the hips. When we lean back, we hold on. Right? So we hold on up here. And then make sure you're under your plumb line. Super important. Wrap the right leg around. You have to kind of hop wide and around. Out, no, come back. Outside in, come on back, one leg.
And yeah, this side?
Just one leg, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so come on back to sit. So we want to make sure we're going to be straight up and down. Come on back to sit. This foot's on the ground.
I got it. If I can get it there, I'll do it. I'm serious. Sorry.
So foot on the ground, out to 3 o'clock.
I'll watch.
Great. Yeah. So watch Shanti from here, because see how the foot is out to the side? So instead of being here, we just bring the foot out to the side. So we have to sit into it a little bit more. Okay. So from here, we're going to lean back. When we lean back, the foot can raise. Now when the foot raises, I'm left foot, right hand, so it's a diagonal. So from the diagonal, go ahead and try the toe touches. I'm going to come around and spot you guys. So in case you need any help with alignment,